Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date, Thursday, June 11th, 2015. Yes, late morning, soon to be early afternoon. So, just got a few things on my mind. Just had real curious about what's going on at the Bilderberg conference. So I was trying to find out what's the latest input. And what's interesting, there's been reports from multiple sources that you probably go on Twitter. Like they had cell phone jammers, internet jammers from Wi-Fi and all that. They're trying to block people sending information out. So, and plus there took 11 or 12 guys to arrest one person. This is from Luke Rudowski. It's from the twitter.com, Bilderberg 2015, actually 2013 site, but I'm going to put that link on there. It'll give you all the updates. There's a YouTube on that too. He goes, Luke Rudowski, why does it take 11 cops to arrest one man for standing on the wrong side of the road? Oh my goodness, run to the hills. The air raid sirens of anxiety because one person was on the wrong side of the road, and they have to show their pure authority and man and womanhood that you cannot do that. You gotta be arrested. It reminds me when I was watching some of those videos, live stream in 2012 when the Bilderberg group was in Chantilly, Virginia at the Marriott, and I saw 2 or 3 people got arrested. And of course, I had the desire to tweet everyone to call the Fairfax County Police Department the non-emergency line to inform everyone to call them up, petition on letting them go. I say non-emergency. Some people go, oh well, that's not right. Yeah, people probably need it. I go, no, it's non-emergency line, not 911, but the non-emergency line. Just to clear that up. So it's been very interesting right now. And of course, people are being harassed, and of course, mainstream journalists prove they don't have a clue. And I gotta thank Shekin too from Guardian trying to put stuff up. Haven't checked his latest reports yet. They put it up on his own website. However, I know Infowars, Press for Truth, Dollar Vigilante, We Are Change. Even one from the States and Rotterdam, they're out there too, trying to do their thing and give them the thumbs up for it. So, and of course, Paul Joseph Watson's there. Just a few others. These folks are not. They're trying to make the report accurate as possible. So always observe responsibly. And what's interesting, this actually came out. Oh, looks like it dropped here. You gotta bear with me. Okay, boom. Actually, this one came out from the DW.de, the German newspaper, German news site, and it's from under transatlantic relations. It's entitled "Austria hosts secretive Bilderberg conference." And as it reads here, Austria has sealed off its alpine resort of Telfbuschen for a 4-day elite gathering of 140 politicians, executives, and academics, mostly from NATO nations. The Bilderberg talks began as a Dutch initiative in 1954. Good. I like the accuracy there. I'm real impressed. Movers and shakers from 22 nations converge on a luxury hotel on Thursday in Western Austria for the latest in a secretive Bilderberg conference series that has run for 6 decades, officially aims to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Over a 60-year history, it has, however, also long been an inspiration to conspiracy theorists convinced that the world's elites meet there to determine the fate of the globe. This year's published guest list includes NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg, Dutch Bank Supervisory Board Chairman Paul Alchelenter, German Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen, and Netherlands Princess Beatrix, and Goldman Sachs Chairman Robert Zoellick. Yes, the ones who fund the politicians around the world, including President Obama and Mitt Romney in the 2012 elections. That's why I call them the Goldman Sachs twins. And furthermore, just to let you know about Goldman Sachs, even U.S. Senator and presidential candidate Ted Cruz, the natural-born Canadian, who is not an American natural-born American citizen. His wife Heidi is involved with Goldman Sachs, the vice president, if I'm correct, in the United States district. So, how coincidental is that? Something to contemplate over. So I will continue on here. The topics listed by organizers include chemical weapons, the Middle East, Russia, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. There is no specific mention of climate change or December's UN Paris conference. World hunger and the massive gaps between the world's poor and rich also didn't make the list on its current issues. No detailed agenda. Participants attended as private individuals. The conference website states there is no detailed agenda, no resolution proposed, no votes are taken, no policy statements are issued. The meeting is closed to reporting journalists to encourage the highest level of openness. In order to encourage the highest level of openness and dialogue, says the website in its question and answer section. Attendees are free to use information received, but are not allowed to reveal the identities of speakers later, according to the rules for the 63rd Bilderberg Conference. How sweet it is! Its name stems from the post-World War II gathering held at the Hotel Bilderberg in Austria in the Netherlands in 1954. The meeting took place there is reputed to have laid groundwork for the European Union. Can we say Club of Rome? Exclusion zone with radar. Austrian authorities have imposed 50-kilometer or 31-mile exclusion zone around the 5-star Alpine resort at Telfsbuschen. So how much you got paid and all your minions, how are they going to benefit? Bending over doesn't have its benefits. It equals to blowback when the rank and file least expected. I am being sarcastic, but that's just me. The country has planned to deploy up to 2,100 police officers to secure the conference. Austria's Karin Zeitung, a tabloid newspaper, cited the military as saying a special radar system was in position and Kiowa helicopters armed with machine guns would carry out patrols. The resort lies just 15 kilometers south of last week's G-Summit venue of Almu in southern Germany, where the heads of several industrial nations met. Distant demonstration on Saturday. Critics of the Bilderberg proceedings have planned a demonstration for Saturday and expect between 2,000 and 3,000 protesters. It will take place 15 kilometers from the conference venue. Wow. Shows their true manhood for the Bilderbergs. German author Bjorn Wendt, a scientist at the University of Munster, said the mythos surrounding the Bilderberg Conference series resulted from the lack of public information about what happened during the meetings, who is significant, who will become significant. An invitation is a form of nightly accolade for the importance, said Wendt. Out of control. Leftist German sociologist Hans-Jürgen Kremensky, whose book Hurt and Wolf, Shepherd and Wolves, was published in a revised version last year, wrote that politicians were hardly able to control the financial elite. The public knew little about the encounters of the rich and powerful at the Bilderberg conferences, Kremensky said. While, on the other hand, millions of social welfare recipients were subjected to constant controls and surveys of their activities and lives. Historian and co-world expert Brent Greiner of the Hamburg Institute of Social Research played down conspiracy theories in 2013 by instead of postulating the industry and politicians lack singular control of mechanisms to run crisis-plagued modern democracies. Oh yeah, like I said, at least that's I have to say it's a decent article. I will be very sincere. There's not enough juicy details. However, like I said before, it's always traditional. You want to see how many people they're going to arrest. It may take 20, 30 people to arrest 2, 3 reporters, protesters, etc. And you know what? And all those parasites that were in there. attending these meetings. You're just proved to be bend-over Bobs and Jezebelian harlots to the New World Order. This is how I look at it. You guys are a bunch of sleaze bags, and the world does not revolve around you. And like I will say, you're being exposed little by little. And I know I did talk about this yesterday on the Bilderberg meetings. However, like I said, they're going to get a lot more what they can chew on because the spiritual awakening is in progress and the folks are learning. The mainstream media in the United States, most of them don't want to tell you about. You know what? Piss on them. Fox News, MSNBC, all of those stations, they just sold their souls too because they believe you folks who watch these sites are nothing more than dumb, stagnant, and happy individuals to have the minds of cows or sheep. So just to let you folks know for sure, you have the opportunity to empower yourself, do your research, and spread this information to everyone you know. Because now they got away with it in 1954. Now it's slipping away in 2015 and beyond. So I'd like to thank all those folks that brought it out there, and of course, including the late Darcy Tucker. May his soul be forever free. And furthermore, there's a Bilderberg 2015 live stream, and what you can do, they have links to it for these live stream lists for Friday, since Friday the 24th. But you should check this out. I will add this to my memo, and including the whole Bilderberg Twitter account as well, because it's pretty good. And if you got anything about related to Bilderberg, the latest reports, please send out to everyone, including myself. That'd be fantastic. And that is it on that area. So I always say, praise freedom, to condemn tyranny, and defy the New World Order. All right, this one here is pretty neat. I'll just add this one to the list. And this one came from True Activist, and it came out today. And this was entitled, "Court rules that activists who filled expired parking meters are protected by free speech." And as it reads here, this week the New Hampshire Supreme Court ruled that a group who goes around filling parking meters and heckling parking officers are protected by the right to free speech. However, the state may soon pass new laws to create a buffer zone around parking officers so they cannot be approached by activists. For years, groups of Keene residents known as Robin Hooders have walked the streets filling expired parking meters with their own money in order to save people from getting parking tickets. Occasionally, when they encounter an angry parking officer, they are prepared to film the situation with their smartphones. Hold on here. Close the damn thing, will ya? Occasionally, when they encounter when the Robin Hooders come across a car that already has a ticket on it, they will place some information on the person's windshield, which provides tips on how to beat the ticket in court. There's a YouTube video on that as well, a YouTube link. What the? Hate when they do that. All right. One moment. But the whole thing is, I remember I did a report on it a while back. I think around October. Yeah, around October of last year on the whole Robin Hooder ordeal, which was pretty funny at times. You know, sometimes they could have exhibited themselves better. Don't get me wrong. I support free speech. I'm a free speech, freedom lover, sovereign thinking individual like myself. But always try to exhibit themselves with more finesse. Be methodical. You know, that drives them more crazy. Okay, and even I told people to use free speech. Don't try to use cheap shots or low blows. Yeah, get them with finesse. Yeah, and ask them, are you proud to be a deputy of Nottingham? Or like I say to a politician, are you proud to be a bend over Bob to New World Order? Just like that. Just use it with finesse without being too angry with them, because there's no fun in that. All right, now it came back up. Now it says here, Robin Hood activist and radio show host Ian Freeman estimates that they prevented at least 8,000 tickets in 2013, saving Keene Motors an estimated $80,000 in that year alone. These savings have not gone unnoticed by the local government, who have become concerned about the revenue that they are missing out on. In 2013, an amusing rivalry between the Robin Hood activists and city employees turned into a legal battle, when parking enforcers claimed that they felt threatened, and the city government filed a pair of lawsuits against 6 Keene activists accused of organizing many of the Robin Hood efforts. This week, the state Supreme Court finally ruled that Robin Hood activism was protected by free speech, but the battle is far from won. As Ian Freeman pointed out on a local blog, Free Keene, in nearly complete victory for Robin Hood and Keene, the NH Supreme Court has affirmed nearly all of the Superior Court decisions against the people, calling themselves the City of Keene and the city's libelous assault on the heroic activists who have rescued thousands of motorists from paying tickets in downtown Keene in the last couple of years. The victory is nearly complete, with one exception. The Supreme's ruled that the lower courts needed to consider the city's request for injunction separately from the claim of notorious interference and conspiracy. Therefore, the Supreme remanded only at the detail to the Superior Court to decide. He added, free speech attorney John Meyer, who took his case pro bono, said he'll be filing a motion to reconsider to the remanded portion of the case. It is ultimately prepared to go back to the Superior Court and rush this frivolous, harassing case for good. Of course, the city people don't have to spend their own personal money to go to court. They get to spend taxpayers' dollars on this nonsense. So the only thing that might stop them appealing this further up to federal courts is that no longer they drag it out. The longer taxpayers in Keene will be angry at them about it. Time will tell. Meanwhile, Robin Hooders will continue to rescue innocent motorists in the streets of Keene. And they do have another video for that as well. I gotta say, I think this is amazing. I'm just like laughing so hard. And you know what? It's awesome because in the state of New Hampshire, that's their motto, live free or die. Well, the whole thing is this, my friends. That's what they're doing. They're playing a little game of rebellion, okay? And remember, Thomas Jefferson once said, a little rebellion now and then is good? Of course. Whatever is national, state, or local. So this is their form of peaceable resistance, and I enjoy it because it's always good to push that envelope to authorities because they believe that they're the truth and you guys are not. And the Robin Hooders gave them a taste of their own medicine, and plus, you get them where it hurts, their pocketbook. I believe everyone, every person within these cities should take the initiative, including myself, okay? However, there's other ways of doing that too, because I have a friend of mine, I'll have to look this up further, a colleague of mine I met at the Adam Kokesh speak. It's on my last episode. We talked about parking tickets and all that, and he told me he wrote a nice little letter saying I have no contract with the city. So that's the whole thing. So I don't agree to pay these tolls, and he never really got anything back. Like no reprisal or any records of unpaid parking tickets, etc. But you have to do your own homework on that. So. And, of course, this free speech is guaranteed under the U.S. and New Hampshire state constitution. So that's why I always find this really amazing and real cool, man. I like it. So I know there's even in the past, too, some of the Keene parking enforcers had to quit their job. So, like I said, my advice to the Robin Hooders, keep up the good work. But a little more love and finesse will get them more angry without you threatening them one way or the other. All right, next one here came out June 8th by LibertyNews.com. Yeah, LibertyNews.com. It was breaking. And it says here, Supreme Court rules in favor of hollow point ammo ban. It sounds like as a national issue here, but it is based out of the city of San Francisco, which, when it comes to treasons in the air in San Francisco, put your hands in the air. That's the sign of self-defense. You know, just to give you guys an example, because I remember the time they did had a San Francisco handgun ban, which I think it was like in 2004 or 6, around that time. But I wrote a nice little letter to the city and tell them what they're doing is downright treasonous, and called out some of the, I would say, some of their so-called elected servants and appointees. I know they didn't reply, but many of the folks, such as Pink Pistols in San Francisco, liked my letter. So, and they go, "Don't worry, we're going to beat it," and they did in the California State Court. However, and I'm not responding here. Come on, you bastards. Okay, I've got to kick back a little bit. It looks like my computer froze up on me. Yeah, so this one is really interesting. What happened was they said they had a California law. Okay, they had a California law stating that hollow points are illegal in San Francisco, and the whole thing was, according to Eric Odom on the report, that the NRA even took it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it still got ejected. So what really gets my goat is, we all know Supreme Court justices are bought and paid for, or they sold their asses to the oligarchs, allegedly. All right. And now they're going to try to say the cities have these authorities on what kind of equipment or tools or accessories to use to defend yourselves. Well, we all know in California, okay, the state of California, this actually violates, in San Francisco, it actually violates the Florida State Constitution on natural law, Article 1, Section 1. But, okay, come on, shoot. And it's still, Oh, wait, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's being manifested here. Alright, hold on, it's resetting. There you go, come on, work with me. And it says here, let's face it, folks, when the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that a ban on the sale of hollow point ammunition is constitutional, the Second Amendment is dead. When the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that all firearms must be locked up in their own homes, the Second Amendment is dead. Stop lying to me, with all due respect, Mr. Odom. Think the court wouldn't ever make such a ruling? Think again, it just happened. That's from that link takes you to the ABC News report. The Supreme Court has turned down another National Rifle Association-led appeal aimed at loosening gun restrictions, and instead left in place 2 San Francisco gun laws. The court on Monday let stand court rulings in favor of a city measure that requires handgun owners to secure weapons in their homes by storing them in a locker, keeping them on their bodies, or applying trigger locks. A second ordinance bans on sales of ammunition that expands on impact, has no sporting purpose. It is commonly referred to as hollow point bullets. Justices Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas said they would have heard the appeal from the NRA and San Francisco gun owners. Gun rights supporters have been frustrated by the court's unwillingness to expand on a seminal gun rights ruling from 2008. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, but that's San Francisco. Yeah, it is. But this is now legal presence in the USA thanks to the Supreme Court of the United States, or SCOTUS. And if the city and town you live in ever decides to ban sales of hollow point ammo or force you to lock up your means of self-defense, the Supreme Court of the United States has decided there's no problem with it whatsoever. Of course, this isn't really a ruling here, but the court decides not to hear the case. In other words, the court is saying the laws are legal and not worthy of getting before the Supreme Court of the United States. Shameful. RIP 2A? Well, we'll still fight for you, but your right to protect can now be infringed. Well, I always say this. The Bill of Rights is an auto-nullification. Those rules is null and void, and the San Francisco laws deserves a penile microphone. Stick it in their mouths, and they go, That's right, because all they do is gargle and mumble. That's how these buffoons are. And furthermore, I believe the people in San Francisco should do a recall on all their asses that support these rules. Because right there, they just breached their oath of office under the California state constitution. And of course, there's a ruling from here from the AP, talks about that, and it's very similar. So that's why I go, treason's in the air in San Francisco. Alright, but let's check out California's Constitution, Article 1, Declaration of Rights. Section 1 says, all people are by the nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. Among these are enjoying and defending life, liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy. So, that law, those ordinances that were honored, that were passed in San Francisco, does not supersede Article 1, Section 1 of your state constitution. And of course, we'll just keep on going down here. I believe there is a, if I'm correct here, I'm trying to see here, trying to find out. Oh wait, here's one, Section 9, same article. A bill of attainder ex post facto law or law impairing the obligation of contracts may not be passed. Hey, interesting there. And we'll just keep on going. I'm gonna keep on going here. And of course, 13, the right of the people. Section 13, Article 1, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable seizures and searches may not be violated, and a warrant may not be issued except on probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons and things to be seized. Okay, so everything I'm telling you is based on Article 1. This is Section 13, which is equivalent to the Article 4th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. All right? And it says here, nah, I'm going to keep on going here. Nah, not that. It's interesting here that non-citizens have the same property rights as citizens. Okay, so if you own firearms, non-citizens, you have the same rights. So that's Article 1, Section 20. Let me see. Alright, just keep on going here. Article 1, Section 24, rights guaranteed by this Constitution, not dependent on those guaranteed by the United States Constitution. Oh, so, and I like it when it says the final paragraph here says that this Declaration of Rights may not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people. Oh, yes. So technically, right there, that's considered due process and all that, and enumerating rights. So, let's see here. I'm going to keep on going. Provisions. No. Let me see here. Keep on going. Fuck. Oh, excuse my language here. Yeah, so, and it says here, Section 31. Okay, that's no big deal. That's about discrimination. But, yeah, so definitely it violates many good amount of sections in Article 1 of your state constitution. But definitely, you start doing your homework. I am going to add this to my footnotes as well. And like I said, it's Article 1, Section 24, rights guaranteed by the Constitution are not dependent on those rights guaranteed by the United States Constitution. And that is the final sentence, by the way. Yeah, second paragraph to be exact. Yeah, this Declaration of Rights may not be construed to impair or deny others attained by the people. So technically, this San Francisco laws does not supersede Article 1 of the state constitution. And a little bit more further here, you can hit Government Code Section 815-1 18.9. But I'm going to add this too. It's the liability and tort. It says here, it's at 815, Section A, subsection A, except as otherwise provided by statute. A public entity is not liable for an injury, whether such injuries arises out on an act or omission of the public entity or a public employee or any other person. And it said, I'm going to liability of a public entity established by this part commencing in Section 814 is subject to any immunity of the public entity to be provided by statute, including this part of the subject to any defense would be available to a public entity if it were a private person. So the whole thing is this on Section 815. The police aren't obligated to protect you. All right, this is just an example. I'm gonna actually put this whole entire page on my footnotes here as well. And like it says here, 818.8, public entity is not liable for an injury caused by misrepresentation by an employee of the public entity, whether or not such misrepresentation may be neglect or intentional. So technically the whole thing is the police aren't obligated to protect you as an individual in California. So you guys, and that includes the city of San Francisco. So if they want you to lock things up, and they don't want you to have certain bullets for defending yourself and your family, property, and loved ones, they're trying to tell you they know better. And another thing too, the police aren't obligated to protect you. I know I'm repeating myself, but bear with me under this certain code section. So that's what we call about sovereign immunity tort in California. That's why I always tell folks, you gotta start doing your homework, and all those gun control fiends don't want you to know about this. They want you to be dumb, stagnant, and happy. But this is why individuals like myself and many others are putting this out, because we want to inform everybody. All right, and just to let you know, the rest of my stuff will be like domestic anyway. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So that's why I go treason's in the air in San Francisco. All right. Well, okay. Finally, like I said, it won't be too. It's not gonna be too long. This is under from WesternJournalism.com. And don't get me wrong, like I'm pretty observant. They got some articles I'm not crazy about, but it's got some stuff that's meritable. And this is a good example. There's a video here. It says, "Watch Black woman goes on epic rant about McKinney. Says what no one else will." And I like her quote. Says here, the white kids weren't running, the black kids were. And there's a video link for that, so on the YouTube link. So that's pretty interesting here. It's by Randy DeSoto. It actually came out yesterday. It says here, a Texas mother Facebook video post expressing her thoughts about the McKinney pool party has gone viral with over 1.8 million views. Keisha Jackson shown sitting in a car, and she was on her lunch break and had just had a heated discussion with coworkers about the McKinney pool party incident. She made a video to get her thoughts out. In a roughly 5.5-minute video, Jackson placed most of the blame on the parents of the children involved for the way the events went down. She gives specific reasons why she felt McKinney police officer Eric Casebolt acted appropriately given the chaotic situation. Do I think the incident was excessive? Was excessive? Yes. But I think it was necessary? Yes, she says. Jackson first turns her thoughts towards the parents of children, saying they should teach their children when the police arrive on the scene, you should stay there and you wait for instructions based on you don't know what's going on. The police officer doesn't know what's going on, which is a fact. Okay, which is a fact. Because remember, it's time to have my disputes and question authority. However, they're human beings as well. So she has that. Great point. Secondly, everyone is in an uproar about how they restrained the black kids and not the white kids. The white kids weren't running, the black kids were. And I'm black, by the way, says Jackson. Regarding Officer Casebold's treatment of the bikini-clad 15-year-old Dejara Becken, the Texas woman highlights that she asked her and her friends to leave 3 times. The last time, when he told her to leave, she walked off and mouthed something smart to the officer. At the point, he grabbed her and he started to pull away. That's a threat. He had every right to detain her by any means necessary for Malcolm X, says Jackson. She continues, everyone is upset because he grabs her. He's holding her down. He has his knees in her back. What is he supposed to do? Hold her gently? He is an officer. What do you want an officer says in that situation? She also believes Caseball had already had every right to pull his gun when the teenage boys ran up behind him. One little boy bucked up as he went about to strike the officer, Jackson points out. Their actions were clearly a threat. Based on that video, she's right. It's got to look at everything thoroughly, okay? You got to be strategic, folks. Now, let's get this straight for real. Jackson says, look directly into the camera. We black, we are dealing with 430 years of systematic genocide. Nothing has changed. You're still black and walking. All our officers are bad? No. All our officers are good? No, but you still have to follow protocol. Now, it's about, again, the parents and teaching our children to respect authority figures. Whatever is an officer, whether it's a teacher, whether it's just a parent walking down the street. While Jackson's sentiments have garnered over 26,000 likes and 64,000 shares on Facebook, so not everyone has been positive. One black woman commented, "You stupid. White people will not respect you because of what you're saying." Even a little boy filming the whole thing said they skipped over him and went to the black kids. You don't get any brownie points in life by putting down your own race. You have to understand they don't do that to theirs, so you get no respect for them. Well, I gotta say one thing. Is she a troll or don't have a damn clue? What would Dr. Walter Williams have to say about this? I'm going to have to check out one of his articles. I might do this after we're done here. Another agreed with the sentiment. So true. Keeza Jackson must think that because she is black, her words carry more weight. Well, if her black son was on the ground having done nothing wrong, I know she would not be on Facebook talking about how to raise her kids. I feel she's strong in blaming parents who said these children are not trained properly. I wish I could pull the video off social media. Jackson's closed her video. My break is over. I'm going to breathe. And again, parents, be accountable for your children. Children know what you're supposed to do. And there's the video footage on the cops on the crash party originally. So, and you know what's interesting too, because anything that's black or white and so forth, the mainstream media, they manifest this like Cujo's and Pablo's dog wants to drool, manifest, and foam at the mouth like having rabies. And there's a lot of stuff that's happening too. And don't get me wrong, it is like disturbing, but you always have to examine the fine print. This is part of the Ebenezer's public relations technique. Read the book Propaganda by Ebenezer, which came out in 1928, and you understand where I'm coming from. Total mind trick, brain trick, mind control, trick bags, etc. That's why I always tell folks, you have to observe responsibly. And to all my freedom-loving, sovereign-thinking individuals out there, it doesn't matter what you look like, where you're from, you have to examine things more methodically, or in other words, strategically. Have that Sun Tzu mindset in you. Then you go a lot further. And what they want to present to you on a hot plate. Like they want you to look at like they want you to sign a contract, but they don't want you to just sign it, but they don't want you to look at the fine print. That's how the mainstream news media wants you to do. Manifest, get angry, and go out to these rallies and hang out with these quackery charlatan organizations such as the New Black Panther Party and a few others. But you gotta really be careful. Even Black Lives Matter, there's claims that there's been funded by Soros. So to bring in the clowns, and I always have this when it comes to these little protests, something like this with McKinney. Where's Morris Dees, the ringmaster from the Southern Poverty Law Center? Where's he at? I call him the ringmaster. He's another clown too. Because if you criticize them, you're considered a terrorist. If you support freedom, you're considered their enemy. That's just a very good example. You know what? I'm going to try to take the initiative on took a look at that to see if Dr. Walter Williams said anything about this. So give me some time. If I find something in here, I should have done this a while back, so hey, I just got to improvise, adapt, and conquer. So, let me see here. Yeah, I'm just trying to see what I got here. No. Yeah, I'm on, always use start page, by the way.
When you fall asleep tonight, just remember that we lay under the same stars. Hey, I know there are some things we need to talk about, and I can't stay.
Oh, yeah.
Just let me hold you for a little.
Yeah, actually, didn't really say anything about this yet, but it's interesting stuff on his work. Dr. Walter Williams, yeah, he said stuff on Black Lives Matter, True Black Tragedy, Liberals Respect Me, Improving Black Education that came out recently. Yeah, he has some good work. Very articulate man too. Some people may give him smack because sometimes he speaks on the Rush Limbaugh show. And you know, I'm not a Limbaugh fan myself, but I have taken the initiative to examine individuals in these areas more thoroughly. Now I would have to give him a token of appreciation, but definitely look up Walter Williams, Dr. Walter Williams, and yes, he is a black man, African American man, and he's not one of those Uncle Toms or just talk out of his rear end. The man has merit. He backs up on what he says. So even though he's a conservative, but like I said, conservatives aren't bad. You got quacks, yes. So, but that's the whole thing I have to say about the whole McKinney thing. Don't jump on the hype. Examine everything thoroughly. If you study the drills, what happened in Baltimore, what occurred in Ferguson, what happened in Sanford, Florida, even it's been going on for years. Okay, anything that's black and white or interracial related incidences, they want you to manifest like Pablo's confounded dogs. Don't get caught in the hype. Don't be that foot fish, dumb fish, get caught with hook, line, and sinker. And you know what? That is it. And thanks for everyone for taking the time to listen. Plus, feel free to download and share this episode and many others archives throughout your social media network. If you have any information, comments, criticisms, love letters, hate letters, or send me some cool links, always use decorum, please, by hitting me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. Or you can email me at LokiLuck3, number 3 at gmail.com. Or hit my Spreaker page, and some of the sites are on there. So you can definitely some ways to contact me as well, just to let you know, okay? Once again, thank you for your time. But always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you. And one more thing, I want to make the attempt of going down to Sports Grill in South Miami, Coral Gables area to chat with Adam Kokesh. And the Freedom Campfire Tour will be at the Sports Grill. You go to my last couple of episodes is on there. So to make sure to check it out, okay? And tell them Local Third sent you if you're in the South Florida area. That's it for now. Once again, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.